What's up guys, Adam here with another video on how to better improve your house and property. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a way to make your own more natural weed and grass killer. And I know what you're thinking probably is, here we go, another natural way of doing something. Well, this one will actually work. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But the reason we're doing this is because a lot of the weed killers and grass killers that you're buying from the store are very expensive, and oftentimes they don't really give you the results that you're looking for. And if they do, then they're probably the same ones that have a bunch of class action lawsuits against them for allegedly causing cancer and things of that nature. So I think a lot of people now are wanting to go more a natural route with some of the things around their house and things that they handle. And in today's video, that's what we're going to show you how to do. Now, the main ingredient that's going to be in this weed and grass killer is actually one that you're going to already have inside of your house. In fact, it's one that you ingest on a daily basis. And yes, that ingredient is salt, because salt can act as a desiccant. And a desiccant basically is going to pull moisture out of whatever it is exposed to. And in this case, by getting salt mixed with water, it's able to go down onto the grass or weed and then also permeate through that into the soil to the root system, where it's going to pull all that moisture out. And because it's pulling all that moisture out, the plant obviously isn't able to survive. What do almost all plants need? Rain, sunshine, and good soil. So if you take away the water, it's going to wilt and die. And so generally this is going to take about 2 to 3 days. And in a moment I'm going to show you how to mix it up. But I wanted to get to why I came up with this idea. I came up with this idea as I was mowing my yard. And while I was mowing around my well house, which we also have a water softener inside of it, where the discharge hose is, all of that ground is completely dead. There is nothing growing there. It is just nuked. And that's because there is salt in that water that's being discharged from that water softener. The salt is pulled in through a brine tank with water, and it goes through the water softener to clean all the media inside of the water softener so that it can function properly. And then once it's done all of its cleaning of the media inside of the water softener, that water then has to be discharged, and with it comes the salt. All right guys, so I'm about to start making up our natural weed killer. A couple things I want to go over as far as the ingredients that I'm going to be putting in there. Obviously salt, but the kind of salt that I'm going to be using is actually going to be water softener salt, since it's shown me that it's effective because of what's come out of my water softener and how much it's killed the grass and weeds around there. So I went and picked up a bag of water softener salt. It's a 40-pound bag, and I got the natural crystals because you don't want to get any of the ones that have like iron out or anything like that, because that's just added chemicals that then you're putting into it. So get the solar crystals or the natural crystals, and those are going to have a lot less chemicals in them. It's mostly just salt. So I'm going to get to making that in just a moment. I wanted to do some research first to find out how much salt can each gallon of water absorb before it stops absorbing it. And so what I found was it looks like it's about 2 to 3 pounds of salt per gallon. So I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to go with 3 pounds per gallon and see if that doesn't knock it out more efficiently and faster. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Just as a reminder, as you're waiting for this salt to start dissolving over the next 4 or 6 hours, just come out every once in a while and just stir it around a little bit, just to kind of agitate it, to keep mixing in that salt with that water to make it as dense as possible. All right guys, it's been well over the 6 hours that we talked about. It's actually the next afternoon. I wanted to give this water every chance to soak up as much salt as possible, and it turns out to be a good thing, because there's almost no salt left in the bottom of this bucket. There's just a little bit at the very bottom. So that tells me that this water has soaked up a lot of the salt, and is very dense with the salt. So that should be good for killing the weeds and the grass that we're going to try and eliminate going down the sides of this driveway and in the middle of it. So it's late afternoon, which is good because it's been a hot day here in the 90s and we haven't had rain in a little bit. So these plants, or this grass and weeds, are going to be really thirsty. So they're going to soak this right in. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour this into my sprayer and I'm going to go ahead and spray it on. All right, so it took the full amount of the 2 gallons I thought it was going to go up and down this driveway here. So it should soak in pretty well without there being any rain in the forecast, and it's been pretty dry here the last few days, so it's going to soak it right in. So we'll give it 2 to 3 days and we'll see how we're doing. All right, guys, I know I said we weren't going to take a look at this again for about 2 to 3 days, but I came out here this morning about 15 to 16 hours after we sprayed this last night, and this stuff is already showing that it is dying. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and show you how fast it's going for me, and we'll take a look at it again in a day or two. All right, guys, it's day 2, and as you can see, for the most part, the grass and the weeds are all dead. There's, I'd say, probably 90 to 95% of the grass and the weeds are gone. So for the little bit that's left, I'm just gonna spot treat it just to get rid of the rest of it. Probably the only reason that there's a little bit left is probably because the day that we sprayed, it was a little bit windy. The sprayer I'm using is just a little 1 gallon sprayer that doesn't have a whole lot of spray that comes out. So I'm just thinking it probably didn't make contact with every single bit of the plants. But overall, I'm very happy because, like I said, about 90 to 95% of it is dead. So I'm going to go ahead and spot treat the rest of this, and we'll check and see how we're doing in a day or two. I suspect that it's probably all going to be dead by then. Okay, guys, it is day 3, and as you can see, all of the weeds and grass along the driveway are completely dead. I mean, they are nuked and not coming back for a while. So I would say this more natural weed and grass killer definitely did work. I mean, I'm always skeptical of things when I hear you can mix something yourself, but for me, there was just too much science behind this one for it not to be effective. And all the dead stuff that is left behind over time is going to get washed away from the rain, wind, and rotting. So then I'll be able to get my full-size driveway back again. So before I leave, I have just a few tips for what I think would really help make this mixture more effective. First, don't try to apply this right after it rains or before it rains. It's going to need some ample time to get down into the plant and the root system to really do its thing. And by doing it after it rains, it will dilute your solution more, and this could cause it to run off of the grass and the weeds before it can even start working. Second, use a decent weed sprayer. I have a tow behind sprayer that I could have used, but thought it was a little overkill for this small of an area. But I really wish I would have used it now, as it would have provided a much more efficient spray and coverage of everything. A backpack sprayer would work really well, or even just a little bit more expensive pump sprayer. As you saw, a cheap 1 gallon pump sprayer worked, but you may need to reapply some just to touch everything up. And third, wait until the late afternoon after a warm or hot day. The grass and weeds will really be wanting water at that point and really soak everything up better. Also, it'll leave less time in the day for evaporation to happen and removing some of your natural weed and grass killer. So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you. If you did find it helpful, please click that like button down below, and also consider clicking the subscribe button, as I am already working on some more how-to videos to help you around your home and property. I'll see you in the next video.